I'm the one that needs it.
I asked Guillermo. We didn't write anything down right for Guillermo, and he was so nervous.
I don't think I'm super nervous, but it's just a change of scenery, so it's kind of like hard to talk sometimes. I'm used to the camera, bro.
I'm on so many cameras on YouTube now, and it doesn't matter.
What's it? All right, just say the name of the podcast, take one, and do a triple clap, and you're live.
What's the name of the podcast?
Welcome to the What's in It for Me podcast.
Oh, all right.
Nah, I'm fucking with you. What should we name this? This is now you're turning it off? I'm fucked.
I mean, I don't have to. It didn't sound awful.
No, it didn't sound awful. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Thank God. My forehead's gonna sweat like shit.
All right, wait, let me just do one check. All right, that's live. That's live. See, this fucker has a red, like, we're live thing.
Yeah. At least I know that.
Nothing else has
That has a red record, right?
Yeah.
Right, but look at that. It's got
I
like
can't see it.
That's
It's all
got a
good.
little red
the
square.
whole square is red.
Ah, okay, that's cool. Yeah, we're gonna clap. Or what's the podcast name, man?
Fuck it.
Podcasts are. It doesn't have to be a podcast.
No. Welcome to the Bankrupt, the Bankroll podcast. I'm your host, Gus Holiday. This is Dan with Dan Details, bringing it to you here on the real questions on why businesses need to do the hard things first. HTF, baby. Let's get it rolling. Go. It's on me. If it's on me, then it's going to be. All right. All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right. What is the number one reason why you started your business?
Yeah. So I'd have to say the number one. Oh, well, hold on.
Just
It threw me
go.
up. I started thinking about this thing not being started. I'm starting a 30-minute timer.
Okay, go.
Hold on. Lap. Stop. Start. Let's actually do 28 minutes because it's been a second.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
What would be, I said, what would be the number one reason? What would be? No, hold on. I'm going to get rolling on this. Hold on. All right. Welcome to the Bankroll podcast with your host, Gus Holiday. We got our guest here today, Dan Williams with Dan Detailing. Obviously, people call you Daniel. Dan, great brand. Love what you stand for, man. Wanted to bring you on and get to really know the real reason why you started your business and why you feel as though your business is going to make a big difference in the detailing community as well as in entrepreneurship.
Thank you.
Welcome,
for
man.
having me.
Give us a little bit about your background. Where you from, kind of like where you went to school, just a little background on who you are.
Yeah, so I'm from Georgia originally, kind of northwest Georgia area, a little bit out of Atlanta. I grew up kind of interested in business, didn't really know where I would end up with business there, but I decided to go to college, did the whole 4-year thing, got a degree, and honestly, I kind of regret it. I kind of wish I would have went into business earlier. After college, I went and we ended up here in Maryland, and I worked for another company, worked there for 2 years, and decided it wasn't it. I decided I want to kind of move on and go into my own business endeavors. And first thought I kind of had there was, what am I comfortable with? What do I know? And I really thought about it, and I said, detailing. I've always
All right,
detailed.
cut it there.
Yeah.
That question was for you to tell me where you grew up, where you went to school, and a little bit about your background. You immediately went into why you started the business. I got to ask these questions.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I got to ask these questions. So remember, I'm going to lead
Take
the
on that.
interview. So this particular thing is just, and we'll do another sync point, Zimmy. So we'll clap.
It's test.
Yeah. So just give me your background of where you grew up, how you grew up, like, what was the area like? Give me a story. What was the area like? Villa Rica, it's a small town. It's actually pronounced Villa Rica, right? You could say something like that. Interesting. And then, say where you went to high school, went to Villa Rica High School, father's a truck driver. My mom was a nurse, whatever, right? And I always loved business. And after high school, I wanted to get into college and go to, and then we'll stop it at the college where you started college. Okay? I went to Berry. I went
You
to
don't have to clap each time.
Okay. I went to Berryville College. Okay. So then right there, I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. You went to college and now you're an entrepreneur. So this is one of the situations where we have an entrepreneur who went to college and also started his business. Did you go to college? And so I'll go into the college question. So I'll ask you, tell me a little bit about your
I gotcha.
background.
I
okay?
just try to stay on the topic that you were asking.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'll lead, right?
Right.
Did you do the 30-minute timer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're on it.
24 left.
Okay.
Okay.
So give me a little background, Dan, of where you're from, kind of how you grew up, and your unique experience on life.
Yeah, so I'm from a small town in Georgia. It's called Villa Rica, Georgia. Actual pronunciation of it is Villa Rica, Georgia. It's like the
nice.
city of gold, but we all call it Villa Rica because we're from the south. And growing up there, small town, kind of know everyone. Went to high school there. Took some business courses while I was in high school. That's where I kind of started getting an interest for business there. Played baseball, big fan of baseball. Played baseball for many, many years. And then I ended up deciding I wanted to go to college after I graduated. And I went to a college, as a private liberal arts college called Berry College. It's in Rome, Georgia. So it's kind of still close to home, only an hour away. I made that decision so I can kind of spend some time with my family still, come back home, I'm a big family person.
But wait. So you're telling me you started a business, you went to college. So was business your major, or like how does maybe your business correlate with your college experience, or was this planned?
Yeah, so I went to college and originally I was undeclared. I kind of really didn't know what I wanted to do. The whole world's open to you at that point. You can kind of go into a lot of different fields. I thought at one point it was biochemistry. I thought maybe engineering. And what I ended up on is I decided I would go kind of a little bit more general, and I focused on management and marketing. And kind of my thought process was, well, who are the leaders of the world? Who are the most powerful people? And it kind of my thought process, it kept kind of always revolving back to business. These people with lots of money, big businesses, they kind of own the world, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah.
They kind of make things happen. Elon Musk, he owns so many different businesses in different industries. He's a big power figure. So there's just different things that can come from that I thought, well, if I'm a engineer, I'm kind of limited. So
Okay.
I went more general so I could have kind of unlimited set of where I could go. And that was the decision I made at that point.
So your major was in
Business management and marketing.
and marketing too.
Yes.
So is your story very much like you go to college, you got a game plan from college, you get your degree, and you start your business right away?
Yeah, so actually kind of the opposite of that. Going into college, I was wet behind the ears, with business, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Those first 2 years, I was undeclared. I didn't even know I wanted to do business still. So I decided at that 2-year mark, business, we're going to do management and marketing. And I learned a few things there. But overall, after even graduating from there, I really didn't know what was the next chapter for me. I knew I liked entrepreneurship. I kind of had a little bit of entrepreneurial focus in some of the electives that I got to choose to take. And with that, I decided to actually end up working for Chick-fil-A of all things.
Are they based in? So you're from Georgia. I think they're based in Georgia, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Their headquarters is in Atlanta, Georgia. They kind of started in the Atlanta, Georgia area. However, that was not where I was going to be working after college.
So to follow kind of the story is that you graduate with a degree in marketing business, and you end up working for Chick-fil-A. But I mean, so how does the Chick-fil-A process work? Do you end up applying it for Chick-fil-A? They recruit you? How does it work?
Yeah, so every year at the college I went to, like I said, it's Berry College. We have a group of recruiters that come, and it's called a leadership program. And the deal is you sign up for it, you do your interviews, they hire you, and it's a 3-year program. So ideally, by the end of 3 years, you've kind of made that jump from a beginning college graduate to someone with some experience in the field. And from there, you can kind of decide if you want to actually go work for corporate in their leadership program. So the whole goal of it is to mold you and build you and shape you into a leader so that you can become a leader in Chick-fil-A's business. And the idea behind that is that you'll probably end up being one of their owner operators one day, which I don't know if you guys have ever heard or not, but it's very, very hard to become an operator at Chick-fil-A. It's actually harder to become an operator at Chick-fil-A than it is to get into Harvard.
Wow. I think that's a very unique experience that they technically kind of recruited you, right? So it's like, my experience with Chick-fil-A has always been like their systems are locked tight. I've never had a bad experience at a Chick-fil-A ever. And I've gone to South Carolina, North Carolina, Maryland, DC, Virginia, wherever I go, Chick-fil-A's always got great systems, great customer service. So I would assume that there was some type of rhyme or reason to recruiting you and your particular class or your particular college. So it's funny how, I really grew up kind of like idolizing a company like that, knowing that to run a great business, you're going to need great people. You're going to need a great system. You're going to need great principles. They're closed on Sundays. I always thought that was a heck of a company to work for, and the way they built it and the sales that they do in comparison to like a McDonald's or a Wendy's, it's pretty cool. So it's kind of unique that I get to meet somebody like yourself who kind of was on the inside of Chick-fil-A. So tell me a little bit more about that. Like, what was that like, kind of like being recruited, and did you get to work near home, or what was it like?
Yeah, so when I was recruited, I actually ended up moving to Maryland, and the Chick-fil-A I worked out of was in Frederick, Maryland. There was possibility of 3 different locations there. There was actually a store in DC, a store in Olney, and then the store in Frederick, Maryland. And so these are from 3 different operators. So they're kind of all looking for who they want to hire. And so in your interviews, they kind of pair you with who they think that you would be the best fit for, in which Chick-fil-A, what area. They kind of they take a lot of scenarios into mind whenever they're doing that. So they'll ask you questions like, where do you live? How is it? Is it more suburban? Is it more city-like? And they kind of get to find out your personality type and how you are, who you are. And that way they're able to pair you with the store that they think that you will strive at the best and have the most success. So for me, it happened to be Frederick, Maryland, which is kind of a little bit more like my hometown. It is a lot bigger in population size, about 4.5 times the population of my hometown. But it's kind of got some of those old country roads still, a little bit of that scenery, that southern scenery that I was used to.
Yeah. So yeah, it's unique because you get mountains and you get city, meaning downtown, right? Old town, downtown. Building's been around since the early 1900s. You get suburbia, right, on the outskirts of Frederick. It's probably the second biggest city in Maryland. So yeah, I could see why, they would bring you to a place that's, growing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually the number 1 fastest growing in all of Maryland.
Yeah, that's what attracted me too, to kind of living here and, understanding that this is a happening place. So I could definitely see why Chick-fil-A would bring you to a store that's really, really doing well, meaning numbers wise, so that you can come in here and start learning their processes. So that's cool. So tell me when you come in to Chick-fil-A, and this is very, very unique to what a McDonald's or a Taco Bell or a Wendy's, because I know some of those franchisees, friends of mine that have those restaurants, they're literally, you sign up online and you get the job the next day. There's really not a whole lot of testing and trying to figure out, if this person's going to fit the job role. I think Chick-fil-A is completely different in that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I had 4 interviews.
Wow.